Hi, welcome to John Paul II Junior College here in Benque Viejo, Belize. We are live here at our very first open day. John Paul II is the very first liberal arts institution in the entire country. And so we're going to talk a little bit further about that and a little bit more about what authentic Catholic education really means. My name is Natalie Gallatin. I assist here in administration here at the Junior College, and I'm very excited to share with you today why I love this school and to share with you all of our students and all of our faculty and staff. All right, let's go. So as we enter the atrium here, we enter into a world of neoclassical architecture. And here at our very first booth, we have the president of the Student Council welcoming all visitors, welcoming all students. Miss Krishna, would you like to say some words to our national and international audience?
Sure. Good morning. My name is Krishna Kach, and I'm the current Student Council president. Right now, we're having our first open day here at JP, so feel free to come and visit us. At the entrance, you will have your student council welcoming you, and then we have food stalls where you can buy stuff, and we're also having our business students having their expo. So feel free to come. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. All right, let's move on to our first floor. So our first floor has quite a bit of activity happening. Normally, regular school hours, this activity is a lot of bustling students, a lot of studies, things of that sort. Now we have a lot of tangible fun happening. Okay, so as Krishna said, we have food vendors selling. So this is Miss Sonia. She makes some of the best pupusas this side of Belmo Pond. Hi, Miss Sonia. Do you want to say anything to anyone?
Oh, hi, and come and visit us.
Yeah, okay. If you can't make it here to our open day, she's here in Benque as well. So, yeah, we are.
At the Boulevard.
Yes.
Benque Viejo at the Boulevard.
Yes, we are always here to serve and have fun. But what's really exciting today, so yes, we have open day, we have a lot of activities happening, but we also had all of our second year marketing students do their marketing expo, and they were led by Miss Gail. Miss Gail is one of our most brilliant educators. Miss Gail, can you please tell us a little bit about the business program here at the Junior College and maybe your experience as an educator here with us?
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so in terms of our business education here at JP2 Junior College, we have expanded and we have moved a little bit away from focusing mostly on liberal arts, and we brought the business program into being. And so we believe that with more students coming on board, that they'll be able to capture what we have to offer in terms of business, but also get exposed or gain exposure on our liberal arts as well. As you can see, we do have micro and macroeconomics. We also have global business. We have market principles of marketing and a whole range of other business courses and more to come on stream. Today, the principles of marketing students are actually showcasing their products and service offerings from the marketing division, and I basically want you to have a word with them so that they can actually share with you what transpired from the point of conducting their market research to the point that they are today, where they're actually launching their products and services. And this is how we intend to continue to build on the promise and the success of JP2 JC.
Fantastic. So the movement from the inception of the idea to launch of the product, shall we try to get into the mix of people and talk with them about their goods? Hello. Hi. Can you please give a quick rundown of what you created, why you created it, and why people should buy it?
Okay, sure. Um, Good afternoon or good morning. I don't know what time you are watching this. My name is Aisha, and I am a partnership. We are a partnership business, so we decided to make this natural dog shampoo since here in Belize there is no local natural dog shampoo. So basically, most of them are coming from Jamaica, Cuba, or somewhere around. So we decided to make this business. And what is this business? The product makes is that makes your dog to feel better, to feel comfortable. They will like hang out when they finish bathing. They will like, oh my gosh, maybe they will become very adorable and all that stuff, and they will like evenly they will like be very funny, and maybe they can talk to you, I don't know, in their language. But yes, and I guess my friend will continue.
Well, I will be explaining of what our product has. Well, our product was made out of white vinegar, hot water, thicker, and soap. And those ingredients were used on our business, on our product. And well, this product has been used by my friend with her dog. So it is very guaranteed. It's safe and it's very good for your dog. It removes the thicker. It makes your dog feel very happy. And if you want, you could come and join us here at John Paul Junior College for this day, our marketing expo. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, guys. Aisha has quite a few dogs, so I think she knows what she means when she's talking about how they become cuter and can even speak to you once they use this natural dog shampoo. Thank you, guys, and congratulations on a successful expo. All right. Mr. Denier, would you be able to turn this slightly down so I can hear your voice? Thank you, thank you. So Denier is one of our most creative students, I'd say. A fabulous personality. Denier, would you like to tell the people exactly what it is that you do?
Hi guys, as you have heard, my name is Daniel Sierra. I'm the founder of Dance Production 19, and I am excited to be here today because it is a way for us young entrepreneurs to showcase our true self and our true masterpiece. It is like a form of art, and studying in a liberal arts school, it helps us express more of our creativity and our virtues that God has given us. Here at Dance Production, we try to fulfill each and everyone's photo shoots ideas, even if it's aesthetic, black and white. If you guys want those social media pictures, we're here. You name it, we take the pictures. We're here all day. We have free photo shoots for those who would want to come and have a sample of my work. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Well, maybe after the filming, we can do a sample of your work.
Yes.
All right. Sweet. Thank you, Denier.
Thank you.
And congrats again on a successful finish. Finally, we have InstaClean. What is InstaClean?
All right, so the company is based on a laundry detergent. The laundry detergent is made out of 4 ingredients. The first being sodium laureth. Second, it's a fragrance. This one in particular is floral. We also used water, and we used the sodium laureth, water, and the stainless dye. It's non-toxic, so it won't damage your clothes. Our business is a starter company, so yeah.
Nifty. Can you guys explain to me, we've seen these products. Can you explain a bit about how the business program here at JP2 has formed your business minds?
Yeah. So this is for our marketing class. For this semester, we were required to create a business. So this class is can definitely test your, skills and your responsibility as a student. You really need to manage your time well in order to carry out, the different tasks. at hand. We were required to, promote and, put out our product in the market. So this business class has been very helpful to build up our promoting skills.
Wonderful. Well, thank you guys, and congrats on a successful completion. Okay, so I want to move into the lawn here real quick. We can come around here so we can get just a different view. But I want to speak a bit to what Miss Gale had shared earlier about moving away from the liberal arts and towards business. So as we've said, we are a liberal arts institution, which means that we provide education in liberal arts and a degree only in liberal arts. But we have these other concentrations, be that one is business, one is English, one is further studies in the liberal arts, or a very new, very first of its kind theology and catechetics degree as well. And so the reason why liberal arts is so important, yes, it's a study of quite a large variety of things. It's a holistic human education, but really it forms the character and the integrity of our students, because that's so important. We do have these professional tracks, like these concentrations that I just shared, because we want you to have a job after you graduate with us, but we also want you to be an ethical person, because even if you create a product and it's really, really good, but you're an unethical businessman, that's not good for you, that's not good for your family, that's not good for the country. And so that's a real value of the alternative education style that we have here, because we care about who you are as a person. So it's this double-handed approach. We have the liberal arts, but we also have these professional tracks for you as well, because just as Wilden was explaining, we want people to get out into the market. We want people to put their feet on the ground and start to transform their communities. And so we do provide these real tangible skills for you to practice here at our school, but also take out with you into the wider world. All right, so let's move this way. So one of our most famous features of our campus is this big open courtyard. Okay, so right now it's the middle of the day, so it's quite sunny in our big open courtyard. But we like to have a lot of different events here. This is another rental venue for the community, so people will come and have wedding receptions or baby showers or celebrations of some sort. You can see there are lights strung across our courtyard. We do this for banquets that we host. We're also going to be hosting a dance tomorrow evening. So this is a real pop-in time for our entire community, but it's central in our campus because it's the heart of our campus, because celebration and joy is the heart of what we do. So these rooms over here on this side of the building, these are our administration offices. So we have our business office manager, we have our registrar, we have our dean. So all of those types of administrative tasks happen on this end. The doors are always open to our students, always open to visitors for any sorts of questions, any sort of concerns. And even if you just come up and you don't yet know us, it's still open to you. We always do tours, we always talk to people, regardless of whether or not we know them, we're open to the community. So we're going to cut real quick to a shot of our campus, and then we'll make our way up to talk to more students and more professors. Hi, okay, welcome to our second floor balcony. So John Paul, if we can get just a shot of the breezeway. John Paul has these open air breezeways, And on this particular floor, this is our very first building that was established. We have 3 classrooms, and we converted our 4th classroom into a chapel, which is really nifty because this chapel serves the entire community up here with Sunday Mass at 7 a.m. every week. What's also really beautiful about that is because we have a Mass every week in our chapel, we also are able to have a tabernacle with the Eucharist in it, which means that we have the physical presence of Christ on campus at all times now. So, all glory be to God. But without further ado, I want to introduce you to all of my friends. Okay, so our very first booth that we have is regarding the liberal arts. Because again, we are a liberal arts school, and we are the only liberal arts school. And what does the liberal arts mean? It doesn't mean that we're just a fine arts school. Rather, it's so much more. So we're going to get into what that so much more is with Mr. Andrew Mellick. He's been teaching with us for quite some time. Mr. Mellick, what are the liberal arts, and why is it important? Why is it relevant?
I'm actually going to hand over the microphone to Mr. Noah here. Mr. Noah is a student. Mr. Noah, what are the liberal arts and why are they important?
Well, the liberal arts are the arts that we study because they're worthwhile in themselves. So they're things that are worth knowing for their own sake. And philosophy itself, we pursue in the liberal arts. The liberal arts prepares us to philosophize. And throughout our lives, we're constantly philosophizing, and we barely know it. But when we go to JP2, we're able to we're provided with structure in that philosophizing, and we're able to philosophize with greater and greater skill. And philosophy itself begins in wonder, and we all wonder as humans. And so the liberal arts, in its essence, makes us more human and helps us to be better humans.
Oh, dang.
No, I should have asked you this question before you gave me back the microphone. But what's your favorite class here at JP?
I think my favorite class is an unconventional one. It's actually Latin. And I like Latin because translating the sentences is kind of like a puzzle. And I enjoy doing puzzles. And then beyond that, Latin is the mother of all languages, as I've heard before. And so it helps me with my Spanish, which I'm struggling to learn poco a poco. And Latin overall is just a fun class. We have fun in there. We have Jeopardy games, and Miss Laura's a great teacher. So.
Wonderful. And speaking of teaching, Mr. Andrew, can you talk about how we teach here at JP2?
Yeah. So normally we like to think of teaching as like the teacher's got a bunch of knowledge. You better get a teacher who knows some stuff because the teacher's going to take all the knowledge out of his brain and he's going to put it in yours. But that's not actually how it works, partly because of psychology and partly because just because a teacher tells you something doesn't mean it's true. And we realize that here, and we want to really teach in a way that is based on that and takes into account everyone's dignity and everyone's actual ability to see stuff themselves. And we hope that people are going to walk away from class saying, this is what I think, instead of being able to say, like, I've heard a million things and I still don't know anything or have opinions about stuff in reality. So besides sometimes having the teacher explain stuff, use the whiteboard, really helpful for like Latin and things, we also have discussions, and we try and learn over the semesters that you're here how to have a serious and an interesting, even a fun conversation together about philosophical questions, about pieces of literature. So it turns out that to some extent, we hope the students are each other's teachers. And we ask you the questions, and you guys work together and find the truth, because we really believe that you can find the truth by clear thinking, and that there's much more value in that than simply telling people what to think, telling people a bunch of stuff to remember. So you'll see in a classroom, if you want to go turn in, that's not a good example, but in the classrooms, we often have the tables in a circle or the tables in a rectangle, and everyone sits facing each other, and the teacher sits down with them. So the teacher's on your level, and you're having a real conversation, an honest conversation where you say what you think.
Yeah. So we're very interested in teaching you how to think, not necessarily what to think. We're not trying to teach to standards or to tests, because anybody can memorize, but we're trying to cultivate the art of thought and the art of asking questions and the art of advocacy for self and for ideas, because that's how we transform the world. And so something that I love a lot about this liberal arts booth is this particular poster, because it talks about these 6 elements in which the liberal arts frees you from. Because liberal means to free. And so liberal arts education is a freedom of thought, a freedom of education. And so something that Mr. Andrew just talked about is this blind belief. We're freeing you from blind belief. Not just to believe whatever it is that you hear, or maybe somebody of authority said, and therefore you must believe it. Because maybe it's right, but maybe it's wrong. And how do you know if it's wrong unless you question it? Unless you form your own thoughts, okay? And so we read different people here that think differently, and we talk about it, so we come to discovery of self, and so we come to ask these questions of, well, what is actually true here? And what are the actions that I should take based off this truth that I discover? Yes, of course.
Ms. Natalie, would you like to play the game at our booth?
Of course, yes. I would love to play a game.
Okay, so in this game, you're going to answer one of these questions. That is one of the questions we talk about in class. And if you give a good answer, then you get a piece of candy.
Okay.
All right, pick one of these stacks.
The orange.
Okay. You want to offer Miss Natalie one of these? Pick one.
My question is, are colors real? So colors are real based off of our perception. We perceive color. We perceive difference of colors. What I first thought of when I read this is I think of the color theorists, and their whole idea was, do colors have meaning outside of the objects in which they are on, or do colors have meaning alone? So we see things like, an apple is red, and that provides a particular emotion or a particular thought. When an apple's brown, we think something, but when a tree is brown, we don't think something like we thought when the apple was brown. So do colors only matter when they're associated with a particular object, or can they mean something standing alone? So, Noah, if you've seen any of the big, large paintings with just one block of color, or maybe 2 blocks of color. And people are usually so puzzled by that because, well, I could do that, or my 7-year-old could do that, or what have you. But what I love about those is that they're very conceptual pieces. And so you sit there in front of that big block of color and go, does this matter? Does this mean anything? Or does this brown need to be on the apple for me to think a particular thing? So are colors real? I think they're real. Do they matter? I think they matter, and I think they can stand alone on themselves as well. They don't have to be on an object. Yes. What do you want to say?
One quick question, Miss Natalie. 2 questions. Do atoms have colors?
I don't know if I've never seen. So is my knowledge of color only based on what I can perceive? Which I don't think that's true. Because I also believe in all the other countries that I've never been to, even though I've never seen them.
But do atoms have color?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they do. Because, yeah.
What colors are they?
I don't know. Do the atoms' colors, do they change? Are they based off of whatever mass they're creating?
I don't know. I was just thinking. I'm not sure.
What did class come to?
I'm not sure if atoms have colors. or do protons have colors? Are protons different colors?
When things collide, do they create new colors?
Do combinations of objects with many atoms create color?
Maybe we're losing our audience here with all my weird questions, but thank you, Ms. Naylor. I think that was some great answers. You can have a piece of candy.
Thank you, kindly. Appreciate it.
Yeah, where this atoms thing was going is, it seems like some people would say that everything's made out of protons, neutrons, and electrons, and it'd be weird if all the protons are different colors, or like this is red because the protons are red. So something's gotta give. Either the colors aren't quite right, aren't quite real, or like things aren't just made out of atoms and stuff. Okay, well, thank you for visiting the liberal arts booth. I hope you had a great time.
Thank you. We like to ask a lot of questions here, and we like to discuss amongst ourselves and really wonder, because wonder is so important, because wonder brings the mind beyond. Miss Ashley.
Hi, beyond Miss Ashley.
Yes.
I'm Miss Ashley. I'm campus minister here at JP2. And basically, campus ministry here is a program that's not one of our classes, not one of our subjects. I got a lot of questions about that. It is where we make our faith more accessible and more practical in the lives of our students. And we try to make this much more important. I went to different Catholic institutions throughout my life. I'm an SCA graduate, SJC graduate, and I loved my Catholic education from there. But what I found here at campus ministry is it's just very much more involved, and there's much more opportunities to practice your faith right here at school. And campus ministry here at JP2 is divided up into 3 sections. So relational ministry, servant leadership, and spirituality. Relational ministry has to do with making connections with other people and also strengthening your relationship with God. So a few of our activities fall under that, like book club and faith and life discussion. Book club is where we discuss different forms of literature, sometimes books, sometimes poetry, sometimes even movies or videos, based on Christian themes or that are secular but can be tied into Christian values in some way. Something that we can discuss and draw deeper meaning from as a student body and along with our faculty as well. Faith and life discussion, it's every Wednesday, and we get together during lunchtime where we discuss different aspects of the faith and how to apply it into our daily lives. I oftentimes pull questions from my students, so I made this little box, and this box just is for questions about the faith or questions in general. Sometimes they ask me weird things like, what's my favorite color or something like that. But outside of that, they ask big questions about the faith. Why do Catholics believe what they believe? So here in our campus ministry, it's not just a place where we reinforce Catholic teachings, it's a place where students feel free and safe to challenge Catholicism, to challenge their faith, and to grow spiritually as they do so. So that's what we do in faith and life discussion. Next is servant leadership, where we give students opportunities to kind of put our money where their mouth is when it comes to our faith. Like, yes, we do believe, but how are we serving? And so servant leadership will usually include mission trips or different community service activities in the community of Benque or in the community of Belize in general. We just did a trip to Cala Creek, and coming up is our Aguacate trip. It's an annual trip to Aguacate, Toledo, and we serve the community there in different ways, and it will change throughout the years depending on the need of the community and the need of our students, the spiritual need of our students as well. So yeah, those are some of the things we do in servant leadership. And when it comes to spirituality, this is where we try to make the sacraments really accessible to our students on a daily basis. So like we do morning prayer, we do liturgy of the hours oftentimes and invite our students to do that. Thursdays we do adoration where we expose the Blessed Sacrament. We have monthly masses, adoration nights, and we try to do these according to the church calendar. So like this month is the month of May, and we dedicate this month to Mary. So we do the altar and we invite students to bring flowers to celebrate Mary during this month and to pray more with her in mind. And many of our activities throughout the year will follow that calendar, but just oftentimes giving students opportunities to participate in the sacraments and also to pray regularly. Right now we're also working with the Seed of Life Center in Benque, where they're doing the program, the spiritual adoption program, where you are encouraged to spiritually adopt a child who is unborn, who hasn't been born yet, and may be at risk of being aborted. And so we give our students these little prayer cards, and you can pray them you can pray this prayer every day, and in hopes that the mother will feel more inclined to keep her baby and to protect this baby from death, basically. And so we change the poster every month to kind of show you the development of this baby you're praying for, kind of encourage you to keep going as well. But these are some of the examples of the way we stimulate spiritual growth here at JP2. Yeah. Any questions, Natalie?
No, that was all encompassing. Thank you. How is it being campus minister?
It is truly a blessing. Sometimes very, very, very tiring at times because it is just me, and all of this is voluntary. We don't make our students come to Mass, so a lot of what I do is running around encouraging people to participate in the Mass and the sacraments, and that can be the most tiring thing at times, but it's also rewarding to see people who don't necessarily believe or don't necessarily, they're not always into their faith, eventually sometimes coming to these things and participating more and more as the year goes along. So that is quite rewarding in that way, to see people grow and to feel God using me in this little way to help people to grow in their faith, whichever way He wants them to grow.
Yeah, as faculty and staff, we pour ourselves out for our students, and we build a culture of intentionality, because this is all God's work. It's not us, it's all Him. Anything that is good that is here is totally of Him. Thank you, Miss Ashley. Yeah. As she was saying, accessibility is so important because it's so difficult to engage with someone or something that you cannot access. So we make the sacraments and we make these discussions of faith and reality of your life real, and we have them be accessible. So as I said, we had transformed one of our classrooms into a chapel to make the presence of Christ on campus here. But we also have Mass here every week, as I said. So this is always open. This is always open for prayer, for faculty, for staff, for students. And we invite them into that on a daily rhythm, because that's the culture that we're trying to build slowly but surely here for our school, but for the wider community as well. All right, and if we go back out here, we have chess. Now, chess is really popping at JP2 because we want it to be. So we're working on revitalizing a chess culture all across the country, but we first have to start with ourselves. So every year we host an annual chess tournament where people come up during the spring, and we use this long breezeway for all these different chess matches that go late into the day, and one winner is declared. And this winner that is declared receives a semester scholarship to JP2 and a very large trophy that we will have one day names inscribed upon. So yes, so if you're interested in coming and you're really good at chess, or you want to get into chess, that would be a great way to enter our school. But yeah, also get a scholarship for it too. All right, so as Ms. Ashley was saying, we have different service opportunities for our students as well, because we're trying to create this culture that's really an imitation of Christ, and that's something that needs to be lived out. So we have different mission trips to various places. We also have World Youth Day pilgrimages available for various students. So Miss Laura, who's also our Latin teacher, who's also Noah, his favorite class is Latin, that he has shared with everyone.
That's exciting.
Would you like to tell us a bit about your work here?
Yes. So here at the missions booth, we're just trying to tell people a little bit more about kind of the outreach opportunities that we have at JP2. I think one of the really special things about JP2 is giving the students just an opportunity to go out in their own community and in nearby communities and serve together. So they grow closer with each other, closer to God, and they get to kind of use what they've learned here to serve others. So we're going to be going down to Aguacate in just a few weeks, down in Toledo, to serve the people down there. And our students are really excited about it, and I'm really excited about it. So yeah, that's kind of coming up the most recently, or the soonest. But yeah, we're also going to be planning a World Youth Day event next year, hopefully be going to Europe and letting our students kind of see in person all of the things and places that they've been learning about for the past 2 years. So yeah.
So what's really cool about World Youth Day is that it's going to be in Portugal this coming summer. And Portugal, as Ms. Laura said, is in Europe. But because of our liberal arts core, we study things like theology, philosophy, logic, and rhetoric, and grammar. We also study the humanities, okay? And the humanities begin with the study of antiquity. So ancient Greece, ancient Rome. And so what we want to do is take our students to Greece and to Italy next summer before we make the pilgrimage to Portugal, so we can actually visit these places that we've been studying about, so we can walk the footsteps of those within Scripture, those within the New Testament. And so again, what we're talking about here from the books, from these discussions, just becomes more alive. It's already alive here. We have these lively discussions, but we really want to make it tangible and provide these experiences that sometimes students might otherwise not have. Thank you, Ms. Laura. Here we are. So a big part of our core is theology. When students study with us, they study 4 semesters of theology. As Ms. Ashley said, you don't have to be Catholic to come to our school. You just have to be willing to engage in these deeper questions. And sometimes they're hard and vulnerable types of questions because they're so real. But we also have a theology and catechetics program. So if you were interested in going into parish ministry, being a youth minister, maybe working as a religion teacher, or just an educator in any of our religious schools here, or even as an administrator, we really need people formed in the faith at advanced levels in those roles. So, Mr. Joseph, can you please talk a bit about theology at our campus, and also maybe what you're doing later this evening?
Yes, for sure. So we teach a variety of theological classes here, just briefly, so don't forget. So there's Christian moral living, so how to live a life that's animated by the gospel, animated by the life of Christ, by life of grace, the life of virtue, how to be an excellent human being. And then second, we have ecclesiology, so the study of the church. What is the church? How was it founded? The sacraments, which were founded by Christ as conduits of grace to strengthen us to live that moral life. And then third, we have the Word of God. So the Scriptures, what is the Word of God? Inspiration of the Holy Spirit, how does that work? Just giving the students a basic familiarity with the books of the Bible as well, because we're not very Bible literate these days. And then a life of prayer, how to live a life imbued with spirituality and openness to God's voice in our daily lives. Later today, we'll be having the Theology of the Body capstone event. And so what that is an opportunity for our students to present on a project of community service they've been working on this semester. And this project has been inspired by Theology of the Body, which is a work by Pope John Paul II. And there's a whole book on it, so it'd take a long time to explain. But basically, the idea is that God is a communion of persons. He's a communion of love. And because we're made in the image of that communion of love, we're made in the image of God, we're also called to be a gift to others. We're called to share our life with others. And this is seen in particular in the marriage bond between men and women, and in the complementarity between femininity and masculinity. And that serves as a model or a sign for the rest of us, just in our friendships, in our relationship with others in the community, to give of ourselves, right? That's our calling as humans, to give of ourselves in love to others. And so tonight the students will have an opportunity to present on that project that they discerned, inspired by Theology of the Body. It's from 5 to 7 p.m. Please come if you're in the area. So thank you, Ms. Natalie.
Thank you. So even if you're not with us, but you're watching this live, you still have time to get here this evening to see Mr. Joseph and our capstone presenters. Let's peel off into this classroom for just a moment, so we can give more space for people out there. I'm sorry, this isn't a very interesting classroom by any means. And generally, it's set up, as Mr. Andrew was saying, in a U shape, so we can foster discussion amongst the students and teachers. Right now it's not, because all of our tables are in the hallway that we're using for that. But I wanted to say real quick that maybe you live far away. Maybe you live in Corozal or Orange Walk in Belize City, and you like what you hear, but you don't have any family in Benkei that you can come and live with and study with us for 2 years. We really want to be in person because we think this authentic human connection is so important in life. We also think it's important in the classroom. And so what do? We're thinking about you too. So this year, we are starting up a house for men and a house for women to live in community and come study with us. So if this is something that you're interested in, please reach out to us by the end of this month, because these plans are being established. But we just want to let you know that there are options that we are opening up, that this education really is for everyone, regardless of location, regardless of state in life, regardless of age. All right, so let's move back in here. All right, so hi, Chelsea, Allie, Anita. So one of our key parts of our program here is what we call the Outdoor Leadership Adventure, OLA for short, okay? And the OLA is either a 5-day, 6-day retreat in Mountain Pine Ridge, where our students go camping and hiking, and it's really hard and it's really strenuous, but it's building body, mind, and character, okay? Because our academic program is also really hard and really strenuous. And so what we want people to understand before they enter into our classroom is that they're actually more capable than they think they are. So if we put them on a mountain and say, hey, let's walk for hours now, it's rough and it's not fun, but then, you know, you're sitting there one step at a time, and by the end of it, you're at the top of the mountain. It's like, oh wait, I did that, you know? Miss Anita, or our graduate, Miss Elizabeth, would either of you like to share about your experience on the OLA?
Sure thing. Yeah, so just like you said about the OLA, it is an amazing experience, but I will not sugarcoat that. It is hard. It is definitely hard. I have been there twice. My first year as a student, obviously, even before stepping into JP, I had to do all of this hard stuff, but it is definitely not impossible. It is one of the best experiences I have ever had. It is 6 days, 5 nights in the Mountain Pine Ridge, no water, no electricity, no cell phones, no devices, no anything, and it will make you step out of your comfort zone. It'll make it hard. You know, it is difficult. You will not have the normal things that you have here in your community. But one of the best things that you can ever get from that is that you will get to meet new people. You will get to know yourself even more. You will get to know the you that you think that you know it has, you know, you have you think it's in the past, But no. Here you will encounter the hardships of life. You will encounter the beauty of what God has made for us, because that is what the OLA is for. You will hike, you will make new friends, you will encounter one of the best experiences, just because you will be meeting new people, and you will be getting to know what God has made for us through His creation, through people, and through the unity that JP2 Junior College brings to us. I went as a student leader the following year, and I was able to help other students as well. And the beauty of this is that as you see other students struggling, you will see real friendships, developing as well. For example, there have been students who struggle a whole lot. They struggle an entire lot. And what comes from that is that other students, their same peers, their same classmates, will go and they will not even hesitate. They will jump and help them. They will carry their bags for them. They are going to carry their classmate on their back if that's what is needed. So that's pretty much one of the greatest thing, and you will encounter a lot of stuff, a lot of hardship, but a lot of beauty, a lot of greatness, and that's what JP2 stands for.
Yeah. Now, Miss Elizabeth was also one of our very first Theology and Catechetics graduates. Would you like to speak a bit about what that program, maybe like what you discovered in that program and what you were able to do after graduation with that formation?
Right. So it is, of course, a liberal arts school. However, I did major in theology and catechetics, which is the booth right behind us. I was indeed one of the first graduates with that degree. And it is beautiful. It is new. It is new in Belize. No one else has it. Only JP2 has it. So you can come over and study here. And it is amazing. It is not separated from any other study. It includes... it actually brings together everything that JP2 stands for. Our liberal arts, it comes with business, it comes with English, it comes with everything. It is all intertwined. You will not go astray from what you believe in or what JP2 stands for. My experience in itself was amazing. I was able to connect everything that I got to know from the other classes and even incorporate that with the community. For example, Mr. Joe talked about the capstone project. The students need to develop and execute this capstone project, which is great because they can give back to the community. The community can hear from JP and hear from God in itself, which is actually beautiful. Some capstone projects even continue up to this day, which is amazing. My experience, I was able to put my degree at work because I got a job at a local high school as a religion teacher. So I was able to teach everything that I learned. I got to execute all of that, and just with great love, with great passion, because I learned that here. It is just like they say, we don't teach you what to think, we teach you how to think, right? So I was able to put that, my mind, body, and soul, into what I love and everything I learned. And that continues up to this day. It is just amazing.
Wow, amazing and beautiful indeed. Well, thank you, Miss Elizabeth. It's really good to have you on campus once again. All right, so our very last booth is our English booth, and it looks like Miss Katie has a small class, and she's teaching at the moment, so we're not going to interrupt her teaching. But what I do want to say is that we have a poetry and prose night. This is next Friday, okay? So if you're watching this live, again, still time to come up for the Theology of the Body capstone this evening, but maybe you already have plans. There's still time to come next Friday for our poetry and prose evening. This is also, if you're watching this live, you can still submit today, so you can just reach out to us as to how to do that if you so desire. Right now, if we pan past Miss Elizabeth and past Mr. Joseph, and we pan over, this is our Phase 2 construction, which is what you've been seeing in the back of all of these shots. I'd like us to take a break right now, and when we come back, I want to give you a tour of what that construction is and what our vision for the future is. All right, we're also going to be playing a short clip of the OLA, the Outdoor Leadership Adventure that we just talked about, that all of our incoming students participate in. So get amped.
I chose JP2.
I chose JP2.
I chose JP2.
I chose JP2 because I wanted
the best.
Because I wanted to do more than just get an education.
I wanted to push myself harder.
To challenge myself.
To be challenged academically.
To challenge my expectations.
To study the greatest
minds of Western civilization.
To soar to new heights.
Break through barriers.
Test the limits of what I thought I could do.
Of what others thought I could do.
Of what I thought was possible. With St. Paul. I run so as to win.
Not for fading glory.
Not for fading glory.
But for an everlasting crown.
So that at the end of my life,
I may say with
I
have finished the race.
I have finished the race.
I have fought
the good fight.
I have kept the faith.
I have kept the faith. I chose JP2 to do more with my life.
To do more with my life
just
than
get a job. But to truly live my faith. Not just for myself, but for belief. To challenge the culture.
To become a scholar.
To change
the world.
To meet the difficulties facing our country without fear.
With St. John Paul II as our patron.
At the only liberal arts institution in our country.
Unashamedly Catholic.
Boldly Catholic.
To become more than just an employee.
To be more than just a student.
But to become a scholar.
To become a scholar.
A good citizen. Intelligent. Articulate.
Noble.
Wise.
Socially responsible.
Successful.
Entrepreneur.
A teacher.
An accountant.
To be a dentist.
A good mother.
A
good father.
To be a man of character.
Holy. A saint.
To be everything we were made to be.
To be everything I was made to be. To be everything God made me to be. Because we are made for greatness.
We are made for greatness.
Because you are made for greatness.
Because you are made for greatness.
All right, welcome. And here we are standing in the midst of our progress. Before I give you the tour of this Phase 2 construction, I want to make it really clear that if there is any desire out there to continue studies towards a bachelor's in the U.S., we are only an associate's program for now. But if anybody wants to continue their studies, there are 4 institutions in the United States of America that have accepted our program in full. So there are Thomas More College, Magdalen College, both of those are in New Hampshire. We also have Ave Maria in Florida and Franciscan University in Ohio. Okay, so if you were to start at any of those institutions, our graduates in the past have begun their studies at their junior year. So again, JP2 is a really wonderful opportunity to have a good grounding, a good solid grounding in free, liberal thinking education, authentically Catholic education, but it's also local. So you can still do 2 years here in country and then go off to the States and continue your studies there if you so wish. But I wanted to make that very clear that our credits do transfer to those institutions. Now, here we are, Phase 2. Okay. So phase 1 is that building right there. That was the original campus that we started to build when we were founded in 2013. Okay, so we're in our 9th academic year. This building was in use in 2016. That's when I came down and started teaching here as a full-time missionary teacher. So we are a school that was a collaboration with the local community here and the Society of Our Lady of the Most Holy Trinity. So our priests are in Benkei. We also have our priests at Divine Mercy and as well on San Pedro as well. So if you run into any of them, that's who they are. They're really wonderful. But their charism is all throughout our school here, all throughout our teacher community as well. Okay, so once we started to expand and grow, we wanted to build phase 2. We will eventually have phase 3 and phase 4 because I talked about how this courtyard was kind of like the heart of our community. That will eventually be closed in as these buildings go out, as an additional church is built, as dormitories arise. So we have a vision for the future. And if you have any questions, I will be more than happy to go further into detail with that. But right now, what we're doing is building phase 2. So we have 3 new classrooms going in place. They are designed very similarly to what we had in phase 1. So you're going to have 2 doors, 4 windows, but the really cool thing about these classrooms, I don't know if you can tell, but they're going to have vaulted ceilings. So you can kind of tell with how the walls are going up and they come to a point. So they're going to have vaulted ceilings because we believe that our students, that our teachers, that everybody that come onto campus, they deserve beauty. People deserve to study and to live in beautiful places because we're built upon the transcendentals. So truth, goodness, beauty, and unity. So beauty is so, so important when it comes to what we're studying, when it comes to how we're living. Same thing, this pursuit of truth, the pursuit of the good that we talked about. Unity, how we are a community, how we are a family. If you come and study with us, you're entering into this family. You're entering into this community of love and acceptance, even if maybe you think differently. Or even if you don't actually know what you think. Again, we're all about asking questions and going deeper here together. So as I said, there are 3 new classrooms being built, which is amazing. It'll double our capacity. But we also have a conference room going in and a sacristy going in. And the really cool thing about the sacristy going in is that means that it's connected to a church. So we're building a new chapel for our school, okay? This chapel, just like our converted classroom chapel is being used for the entire community up here for Sunday Mass, this chapel will also be used for Sunday Mass here. But this chapel will have a capacity of 150 people, okay? So this will be our permanent campus chapel. So we have confessionals, we have the sacristy, like I said. But we're also putting in, again, this architecture of beauty. And you can just see that as the design details start to go in. I just walked, I didn't even point it out, but there's these big, beautiful wooden trusses that are also being created that will be lifted up. I don't know if you guys know that, but it'll be lifted up into the ceilings as we're starting to put on this vaulted roof. We're going to also have a choir loft up here. This is going to be a really amazing, amazing place to pray and to share life in. But also, we're leaving this open so you can see out. We don't have many shots necessarily of the view of our campus during this live, but you can see all of the Mopon River Valley. You can see all of the border and into Guatemala, and the sunsets from our campus are absolutely incredible, absolutely incredible. So please disregard our mess of progress and all the odds and ends that are lying about, but that's what's needed to build this campus of beauty. So with that, thank you for coming to our open day. I just want to reiterate that for those of you coming from a distance, we do have housing options available. Please get in touch with us by the end of May if you're interested in those details. We also have credit transfers to 4 universities in the States. More to come. Present conversations are happening as we speak. But also, please consider coming and joining us and entering our family community here. So to send us off, we have 2 of our student council move over here. Don't trip on any of the rebarb. This is a better shot. You can actually see all of the activity.
Yeah. Hey guys, thank you once more for those who are out there joining us from the comfort of your house, and for those that made it possible today here on campus, thank you very much. Hope you guys grasp a little bit more on what we are and who we are is in more general. Madam President?
Thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys consider joining our family.
Don't
Thank
forget
you.
to apply to John Paul II Junior College. Hope to see you next semester.
All right, bye. Thank you all.
I chose JP2 because I wanted the best. I wanted to push myself harder, to challenge myself, to challenge my expectations, to reach new heights, break through barriers. I wanted to be challenged academically, to be a woman of character, challenge the limits of what I thought was possible, to be everything we were made to be, because we are made for greatness. With St. Paul, I run to win.